Hi there, this is Steve Kaufman. It's just about New Year's Eve here in Vancouver. I'm going to talk today about my New Year's resolutions for the coming year. By the time you see the video, we're probably in the new year. Remember, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, and if you follow me on a podcast service, please leave a comment. I do appreciate it. So today I'm going to talk about what I intend to do as regards language learning in the coming year. But first, let me explain why I have my Vyshyvanka on. So I was getting ready to do my New Year's video, and I happened to check my Twitter feed, and I see that Ukraine is once again being bombed. The whole country is facing this evil, I can only call it genocidal attack from the Putin regime. And it just bothers me so much because it's so unprovoked, unjustified, just the random evil destruction of cities, of civil infrastructure, killing people. And of course, they have their occupation troops there, shelling towns. For example, the town of Krasnohorivka, which I visited, has been under constant attack. I think it's been largely destroyed, like so much of Ukraine. I was there some years ago, visited with the people there. It's very near the city of Donetsk, but it's on the Ukrainian-controlled side. Horrible. I just find it unbelievable that in this day and age we are tolerating the random slaughter that Putin has inflicted on Ukraine. And so before I get into the subject of my language learning goals for the coming year, I just can't help but expressing sympathy for Ukraine and the wish that in the new year the rest of the world is able to prevent this ongoing massacre and or that Ukraine is able to properly defeat Russia and get all the Russian troops out of Ukraine, all of Ukraine, to respect Ukraine's territorial sovereignty, because if we don't, if the new world order is that big countries can simply beat up on small countries, or powerful countries have the right to set their foreign policy agenda, but smaller countries don't, big countries have the right to decide who their neighbors are going to be and who their neighbors are allied with, and small countries don't, that's just not a formula for peace. So I think the whole world has to unite behind supporting Ukraine. I can't, express strongly enough how I feel about that subject. Enough said. Now, my New Year's resolutions when it comes to language learning. We do have challenges at LingQ where people are encouraged to maintain their streak or to, undertake a 30-day challenge or a 90-day challenge, which are sort of ways of nudging people forward, keep them on task, give them short-term goals, like I want to get, read so many words today or save so many words. So all of this is very valuable in getting people going and keeping them going. However, I've been at this learning of languages for a long time. And in particular, I've been with my Persian and Arabic and even a little bit of Turkish, a little more just recently too. And so my New Year's resolution is that I want to follow my own advice and find ways to enjoy the learning process as much as possible. So I'm not worrying about how much I improve in Persian or in Arabic, in Levantine Arabic or Standard Arabic or Egyptian Arabic or in Turkish. I just want to enjoy, sort of in a dilettante way, sampling a little bit of Persian here, a little bit of Arabic there, and so forth. Now, I was thinking about my language learning when I was out cross-country skiing. So when you're cross-country skiing, there are times when you're gliding, of course, but there are times when you're going up a hill. So when you start in a language, you're very much going up the hill because it's hard work, but you're certainly aware of getting up that hill. And that's, I think, where, having daily targets is very important because it keeps you going. But when you're in that gliding period, you've also got to be enjoying it. You got to take time to enjoy the scenery. And if I think back to when I learned other languages like Russian or Ukrainian or Italian, I had wonderful, audiobooks that I listened to. I had wonderful material that was meaningful to me, that I enjoyed listening to, and then I could go back and read it on link and look up words and phrases. And I can remember going through the woods listening to, Отцы, дети in Russian, fathers and sons, or listening, jogging and listening to Promessi Sposi, pardon me, because I like 19th century literature. So I gotta try to find something in Persian, because the danger, what I find myself doing now, is I keep on going back and reviewing the old stuff. And I always discover something new, and I feel that I'm reinforcing things, and maybe I'm improving, but I'm not pushing myself into new stuff. And I haven't found that sort of novel, maybe 19th century novel in Persian, if such a thing exists, from the Qajar dynasty. I'm going to speak to Sahra. I'm going to meet with her tomorrow morning online and see if we can't find something that's sort of a story, or because a lot of what I'm doing is I have her material on the history of Iran. I have a number of other things in our library, but I would like sort of an equivalent of, a novel or something that I could listen to, and where I might be able to find the PDF or the digital text so that I can work. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe that's not available. But I'll have to find something. I need to get something that pushes me beyond reviewing the content that I've already, done. And of course, the temptation in something like Persian and Arabic is to stay with easy material because it's so hard to read for me. And yet, when I think back with Chinese, which is also difficult from a reading point of view, I did push myself further. So my New Year's resolution is not so much the sort of meeting my daily targets or, maintaining my streak. In a way, it would be nice if at Link we gave you credit for maintaining, to being active in, say, 2 or 3 different languages. We only maintain the streak in one language. And maybe the majority of people only study one language, so it's perhaps not necessary to try to have a combined streak. But it would be helpful for me, because then whatever I choose to do, even now we've changed this sort of incentive from one of having to specifically, read so many words and save so many words, is combined in coins. So as long as you maintain a certain level of coins, whether you're listening or reading or speaking or whatever you're doing, you're getting credit for your activity. You're not forced to have, X amount of activity for reading and X amount of activity for speaking. You can do what you want. It would be nice if we could combine that across 3 languages. But I don't think many people are studying 3 languages, so it's difficult for me to convince my son Mark, who runs Link, that we should invest time in coming up with a combined, coin number. But in any case, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue sort of dilettante-like in trying to find ways to enjoy my Persian, my Arabic, my Turkish, without worrying too much about how many words I'm saving or reading, without necessarily worrying about how much progress I'm making, but rather making sure that I enjoy the process. And if we enjoy the process, we will improve. We needn't worry about it. So there you have it. My New Year's resolution, and I hope the new year brings peace to Ukraine. I hope the new year brings language learning enjoyment to all of us, all of you, all of us. And if it brings us enjoyment, it will also bring us success. Thank you for listening, and all the best for 2023. Bye for now.